Have you ever stopped to think about what the actual words of a programming language are? Well, today, we're going to decode the basic vocabulary of C. We're zeroing in on two concepts you absolutely have to get right: identifiers and keywords. Let's jump in.
You know, it might sound super technical, but learning C is a lot like learning any spoken language. Seriously, think about it. In English, you start with the alphabet, you mash those letters into words, and then you build sentences. C works on the exact same principle.
So following that idea, let's start at the very beginning with C's version of the alphabet. These are the fundamental building blocks we're going to use to construct everything else in the language. And here they are. This is the entire character set that C understands. It's pretty much what you'd expect, right? You've got your lowercase and uppercase letters, numbers, a bunch of special symbols, and even things like spaces. These are the only Lego bricks you get to play with. Okay, so what happens when we start clicking those Lego bricks together in a way that makes sense? We create what the language calls tokens. And to put it really simply, tokens are the words of C. For today, we're focusing on two of the most important types: identifiers and keywords. All right, first up, identifiers. Now this is where you, the programmer, get to be creative, because these are the names that you get to make up for all the custom stuff in your code. So what is an identifier, really? It's just the name. It's a custom label that you invent to keep track of things in your program. Think of it like putting a name tag on a storage box so you know what's inside. This box holds the player's score, that one holds a list of names. Now, here's the catch. You can't just name them anything you want. C has some pretty strict rules you've got to follow. For one, a name has to start with a letter or an underscore, never a number. And this next one is super important. C is case sensitive. That means total underscore marks with a lowercase t is a completely different thing from total underscore marks with a capital T. Trust me, that one trips up everybody at first. So let's see this in action. On the left, you've got perfectly valid names like total sum or underscore index. They follow all the rules. But look over on the right. First place is a total no-go because it starts with a number. Total sum is out because of that hyphen. And then there's float. That one's invalid for a really interesting reason, which we're about to get into right now. And that brings us to exactly why float was on that invalid list. It belongs to a very special club of words that are reserved by the C language itself. They have pre-programmed meanings, and they are completely off limits for you to use as your own names. These special reserved words are called keywords. The best way to think of them is as built-in commands that the C compiler is already hardwired to understand. Their meaning is set in stone, and they form the absolute grammar of the language. Now, that might sound a little intimidating, like you have to memorize a giant dictionary or something, but here's the really great news. You don't. The standard C language only has a small, fixed set of just 32 keywords. That's it. Totally manageable. And here they are, the whole crew. You'll probably recognize some of these, like if, else, while, return. But notice the one thing they all have in common. They are all strictly lowercase. And that is not a suggestion, my friend. That is a hard rule. So int is a keyword. But int in all caps, to C, that's just some other name you could make up. Okay, so we've met our two main players: identifiers, which are the names you create, and keywords, which are the names the language keeps for itself. Let's put them side by side to make this whole thing crystal clear. This table just breaks it all down perfectly. On one side, you've got identifiers. They're user-defined, which means you are the boss. You've got flexibility as long as you play by the rules. On the other side, keywords. They're language-defined. Their names are fixed, and they're always lowercase. You use them, but you can never, ever change them. And this slide right here is where the rubber meets the road. If you try to write a line of code like int float, your program is going to crash and burn. Why? Because you're trying to use a reserved keyword, float, as a variable name, and that's just illegal. The correct way is to create your own unique identifier, like price, and then tell the compiler that its type is float. See the difference? So look, if you take away just one thing today, let it be this simple idea. Identifiers are the names you create. Keywords are the names C reserves. If you can get that distinction down, you've honestly mastered a core part of the language. And that's really the long and short of it. You now understand the fundamental grammar of C. Knowing the difference between the names you can make up and the ones you can't is literally the first big step to writing your own code. So I guess the only question left is, now that you know the rules of the game, What's the first variable you're going to create?